Hi, hello, hi, welcome back. So, today we are going to be finally doing another buffing video. Yeah, it's been a bit, hasn't it? I'm really happy to start continuing these series a little bit more, but today I'm going to be not buffing Club Step like a lot of you might expect. Yep, I'm going to be buffing DECODE right here. Because this is one I've wanted to do for quite a while, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to do it right now because, I don't know, I just really want to buff DECODE. But before we get into it, of course, please consider flying right into that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so here we are within DECODE. Now, this is one of my favorite levels of all time. Okay, so I guess let's just start at this beginning part here. And I guess we could just start to get to buffing, right? I don't even think that's possible. No, that's definitely not possible. Okay, so for this jump here, I kind of want to... I kind of want to put a sword there. It'll be hard to control that, but I think that's probably doable. Maybe even half space it there. That might be possible there. Yeah, that's possible. And you can't go too late there, otherwise this saw blade will kill... Okay, no. I will shift this up though, so that will kill you if you click it too late. Do you reckon I could make it so you click that orb late enough to where you can avoid that platform? Hold on. Yes? Oh my god. Okay, yep. That's what's happening here. Yep, I'm doing that. Okay, that's pretty good. This click isn't really that timed, so I'm gonna make that a timing kind of like that maybe. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Okay, nice. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put another saw blade like up here, maybe half space it, just to like fill in the space a little bit up there, right? So none of these timings are too difficult to start off with. I don't really want a difficult timing to start off with, right? Couple subtle timings in the beginning. I kind of like it though. What I kind of really want to do here is if I delete these and then put 3D lines there, like so, and then I can make these white just by putting them a color that's out of the range because there weren't that many colors back in 1.9 were there. So you're going to be able to go through that. So what I kind of want you to do is, yeah, you fall through that. I'm going to have to put regular lines in there and then add those to group 1. I can come over here and make group 1 invisible like so. And that should mean that we don't fall through that platform. We will fall through it a little bit, but not that much, right? Like that, yes. I'm going to go ahead and delete that saw blade right there just so that we're like fine with that. And what I kind of want to do is take this and expand it up to like here so that it's like, hang on, that doesn't look possible. And then it'll like be revealed that you go through the block or whatever. I don't know. That's an idea I just came up with like just then, but I think it's cool. I don't know. I kind of like it. Yes, like that. Oh, that's so good. I really like that. Okay, and then I can probably afford to shift this up a little bit as well. And here, you gotta hit that late. What if I... Oh, okay, hang on. Idea, what if I take this and then switch those around? So now that's there and that's there. So that lines up a little bit nicer. Oh, what I could do is this here. So you have to time that late. Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, that's evil. And then once again, that puts these timings off a little bit. So I kind of want to clean that up, maybe. I'll leave that orb being just a nothing timing, I think, and then maybe I'll put a fake orb over here. Do you reckon I could survive with jumping over that jump pad? Okay, awesome. So what I kind of want to do is make this like a red pad, so you just get flung straight into the roof there. So you have to jump over the pad, right? Okay, nice. Okay, so now for this part. Do I want to literally just do like this? Oh, I've just had a really good idea. Okay, I know what I'm doing for this. I really should layer this stuff. What did I just delete? Let's put these on layer 1 this time. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to have a spike on the top like so, and then have another spike under here, and then it'll be like this. So it's like bloodbath type thing, but it's like normal ship, right? Yeah, guys, this isn't going to be as hard as the last one. Bloodbath ship. Yeah, see, I don't think that's even like too bad, to be honest. Yeah, that's doable. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. The first two are fine. That last one, or not the last one, but the third one might be a little bit too hard. I might go ahead and like nerf this a little bit and maybe nerf this one a little bit as well, just to make it just slightly easier because this is, I don't know, it's pretty hard, right? Okay, so now the UFO part. I automatically want to just replace these like invisible spikes with big spikes, but I don't think I want to do that. What I want to do is something cool because I like doing cool stuff for UFO parts. Do you reckon it would work if I did like a wave type bit of gameplay? So if I did that, put like another one down there, put another one up there, do you reckon that would work? That's actually great. I like that. Why is that amazing? Okay. I'm just trying to see if it's like possible without hitting the orbs. I think it is. It is, yeah. It's not easy though, it's not easy. I'm just trying to think of ways to make this harder. Yeah, screw it. Let's just replace all of these. These are invisible spikes, right? If I do that... Okay, so that's all of them replaced, and I think that should make it quite a bit more hard. Yeah, oh man, that's a lot more difficult, not gonna lie. Uh-oh, this might be too hard now. Oh no. I'm gonna replace a couple with these back again. Alright, I'd call that part sufficiently buffed. Let's give it a look. Actually, before I call that a day, there's one more thing I want to do, and that is jump orb deco. You can see there's a little bit here. I'm gonna copy paste the jump orb deco from over here and chuck it on some of these orbs because it'll just, I don't know, it'll make them look a lot more in place because otherwise the jump orbs kind of feel out of place, not gonna lie. And some of these arrows like this one intercept a little bit, so I might shift these around just to make them clear. Boom, there we go. Alright, nice. Okay, so now this part with this here, these slopes suck. I want to do something completely different so you don't have to jump off this slope because I hate jumping off slopes. So I might put a couple blue jump orbs in here, something like that even. Something like that could work, yeah, okay. I'm kind of liking how this is turning out. I might rotate this portal 45 degrees and put it like on that slope there. Just sitting on this slope here is a little bit boring, so what I might do is do blue jump pads affect you like that. Yeah, that's amazing. I like that so much. That's so cool. Alright, awesome. Just make sure that you have to hit that black orb. I will put a saw in there. Just altering the saws a little bit just to make them feel a little bit tighter as well, because that's a massive thing with buffed levels, right? They just gotta feel difficult, right? Now just time to jump orb deco everything. Oh, but those shift to white. I'm just gonna use this for the whole part. It's not that much harder, but like, I don't know. I like it. I like it. Okay, so now onto the first wave part. Alright, this is where things get exciting. So for this part here, I'm considering making the player do like a specific click pattern. I'm not 100% sure how this will work though. I do like this, however. If I just shift this up, make that a real spike like that. Oh, that's awkward. I kind of want to do that a little bit more often here. Yes, like that. Oh, that's so good. I really like that actually, yeah. And then I'm having fun with this. I might put a saw blade there so you have to do that micro click I just did. Now, how can I make this more tight? I could do like a structure going up like that and then a structure going down like that. So you have to like that. Yeah, like that. That's neat. Okay. And then what I can also do is make the spam a little bit tighter by selecting these, deleting those, and then putting these on the ends. So that just makes the spam a little bit tighter. This part here is already pretty awkward, so I don't think I need to do anything there. I might just leave that. This is cool. I'm liking this so far. So now you go through here, and what am I going to do here? I mean, automatically I could just make the saw blades like way tighter. So something like that maybe, and you can kind of see the natural part. Oh, maybe not that, but I might do something like that even. Yeah, that feels a little bit more natural. Okay, nice. How tight would that make it if I shift that down by 1? That would be like, no, I don't know. You know what, let's just select this and let's just make it tighter. I know I don't like doing these kind of buffs very often, but it's a one-time thing. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, that just makes that a little bit tighter. I like that. Okay. What do I want to do for this part, I wonder? That's actually quite cool. I kind of like that. And then I could even potentially have it go up like this. So something like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now onto this part, which is going to be kind of difficult, the ball part. And as per usual, with these buffing videos, some of the parts are really not that interesting to watch. This ball part is more of the same of what I did in the first cube part, so I'm just going to speed right through this, and let's move on to the next part. So now it's just this, okay. Buffing this is going to be a little bit easier because I have these spike structures to work with, so I can literally just do stuff like that. But also, it's going to be interesting, I think, because I kind of want to like make it a little bit more interesting as well. So I might do, ooh, how would that work? So you have to jump there and then time that. That's amazing. I'm gonna have to shift most of these down, I think, because otherwise it just doesn't like look that difficult, right? It doesn't look tight enough. I'm gonna straight up just delete that, and I want to do something else here. Maybe like a 1, 2, 3 type deal. Oh, I'll put a dash orb in there, so you dash and then land on there. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm actually really proud of that. I think this is like really cool. This is already kind of difficult, not gonna lie. I could put another orb there or just do something with like a bunch of jump pads in it and stuff. That could be interesting. So something like this maybe? Yeah, but just fall there. Oh, but that's a bit weird. Also, okay. I got to address this. What the hell is the deal with these 3D lines? And I'm gonna fix these because it's bothered me for the longest time. Man, oh, that part's so weird. It's so weird to get used to, man. Okay, so now the UFO part. Oh, the infamous UFO part. My automatic reaction is to just like put in one of these like that. So it's like that type of a feel to it. And then that feels really natural to do, so I might actually do that. So you have to go down there. One of these coming all the way up here, like so. And then I could try and put an orb in here. I feel like I'm being way too evil with this part, I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of want to expand this further up as well. That's evil, but it's not as evil as it looks, I feel like. Now for this part. Okay, so now the infamous part, the wave part, baby. How the hell am I gonna buff this and try and do it justice? That's kind of a scary task, I'm not even gonna lie. Well, it's gotta be tighter, right? I kind of just wanna do stuff like this. I could just go ahead and like put spikes there, so it's just like really tight, so you have to go through it like, I don't know, instead of being able to like wiggle between stuff, you just have to go through it, but I really don't wanna do that either. I wanna keep the spirit of the wiggle, right? I could make some form of a saw blade design maybe, but I think ultimately what would be best is if I make some form of like a half slab design. Oh, I can't rotate that 45 degrees. Oh. Okay, fake half slab time. Okay, so that's a fake half slab, and what I can do there is just put a spike in it, but then make it invisible. And you can see the hitbox there, you shouldn't be able to get past that. And you can see this pulses along with the spike. So what we can do now is we can actually go ahead, space that out by half a space, and then I can rotate this 45 degrees. I'm gonna link those together, and then I can shove this in between. Yeah, so that'll just give me a lot more freedom with what I can do with this part, right? And that'll allow me to keep the wiggle a little bit more, because that's very important to me, alright? And you know what I can finally do? Yep, we're having a corner piece raid, ladies and gentlemen. We're putting the corner pieces in, it's happening. Oh, that looks so much nicer with the corner pieces in. If only that was in the original level. So what I'm gonna do as well is I'm gonna shift these up a little bit, because I don't want this to be too difficult. And I'm going to select that, delete that rather, and then put that in. So that makes it like more difficult while keeping the wiggling kind of feel into with it, right? Can the wave fit through that? Oh, that's a stretch. That's a stretch, but maybe. That might be too tough. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I mean, with the hitbox of the spike, it might be fine. I'm not 100%. Yeah, I think that should be fine. These parts here are like painfully easy. So do you reckon I could do some form of a design like that even? Yeah, I think that'll work. I think that's pretty good. Okay, let's do some of these then. Look at this. Does this look humanly possible to you, bro? I don't know if it looks humanly possible to me. Okay, so I'd call this part buffed. I don't know how difficult it is, but oh, it looks like it's difficult. It's not as bad as it looks, but it's still difficult. Don't get me wrong. Okay, now for this part, what I literally might just do to buff this part is just shift this top bit down. Yeah, this is a little bit evil. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna select this whole top section once again here and half space it up. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to select one of these. I'm going to copy paste it, scale it down to 0.5, and then I'm going to mini space it into place, and then we can half space those into the gaps like so. Yeah, that's the perfect difficulty I want. Awesome. Okay, hell yeah. Okay, so now for the next ship part here. I'm tempted to bring in a saw design. So maybe use like one of these ones here and do like even just like a 9 circles effect, that on number 2. So you can see it kind of flashes like that. I think that's pretty good. And then I can kind of just put those in, and that'll be a fairly easy way to buff it. And this bottom part, I can just like get rid of the nerf that's here. Bit evil, but it'll work. Chuck one in there, chuck one up there. So you kind of have to woo woo, and then through this final gap, which I want to make a little bit tighter. That's horrible. Now it's just this final part and then we're done. I've been recording for a little over 2 hours now, which is, yeah, these buff videos take a while, I forgot. Okay, how the hell am I gonna buff this part? What if I made it a duel? I want it to have the same click pattern as like it normally is. But yeah, I feel like making this a duel could work. Okay, so let's chuck a platform in there. Boom, we have a dual part there, hell yeah. I'm also gonna shift this over. I don't know whether you have to jump in the original level or not, but I'm gonna make it so you do have to jump. I could make this another duel. Actually, no, I don't really wanna make it another duel though. What if I do just like a bunch of tiny orbs? Yeah, tiny orbs. So I'll put an orb in there, make it tiny, of course. Gotta fit with the branding of tiny orbs, you know? Put a tiny pad in there. I could leave it at just that and make it so you can survive, but I might go ahead and instead make a tiny dash orb and then kind of rotate that to face upwards so you can through there and then do a frame perfect at the end. No, I'm not going to do that. Although I will go ahead and do this, I think. I also think it would be funny right here if I go ahead and make this invisible and then just put some text saying no. Yes, that's not visible normally, but if you hold for long enough. No. Okay, so I'd call that part done. And with that, that is the whole buffed level finished. Oh my god. Now, of course, I still got to verify it, but man, that took about 2 hours and 20 minutes to buff. This took a while, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. So, yeah, I guess let's just get to verifying. So, first step is, of course, to start doing some runs. So let's do a run from the beginning of this wave part. Let's go. Now, I feel like that wave part gets surprisingly consistent. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know. I'm still dying at it occasionally, but I'm feeling relatively consistent at it, especially considering how tight some of these spaces are. Like, oh my god. Nice. Okay, that is 76 to 100. 13 attempts. All right. Oh god. Okay, I'm gonna have to relearn that part. You gotta learn your own gameplay. Who would have known? Boom. Okay, that was 68 to 100. Let's see if I can do 48 to 100. If I can do 48 to 100, that would be awesome. Because that would be the drop to 100, which is probably the most difficult part of this level, I'd like to think, anyway. Damn it. Yeah, you know what? This level's hard. I've made a really hard level here. I was trying not to make it too difficult, but like, it's so hard to not make it that difficult, dude. Because I want it to be very different to the original, and like, it's not its own thing necessarily. Like, it's always going to be attached to DECODE, obviously, but I want it to be unique, right? And so it's kind of hard to do that without making it like significantly harder. And with levels like Blast Processing, Geometrical Dominator, like that's fine because they're like, I don't know, 6 and 7 stars, right? But to do that with a demon is kind of difficult, right? Like buffing an easy demon into an easy demon is like, that's not buffing. Nice, okay. Whew. 47 to 100, okay. Oh, I thought I might die to that ball part. Okay, 38% though, that's good. That is a very good new best. It has been a fair few attempts. Oh my lord. Oh, I forgot I needed to click that. Damn it. Okay, 61. That's good. That is a very good attempt. Oh, 77. No. Oh, man. That was... I felt so dodgy going through a lot of that. My hand was in a weird position and... Oh, man. 77, though. That is really, really good progress. I'm hoping that after I pass that wave, I can just beat the level. Why? No! god, it's over. Oh. I am really proud of this level, but oh my god. Yeah, I'd say this is probably around insane demon difficulty. Maybe hard demon difficulty, I don't know. If the last wave was a little easier, maybe hard demon. But yeah, I think this is probably insane demon. 1962 attempts, probably my best and most difficult buff level so far. Enjoy. But yeah, anyway, let's just upload this and share level. Boom. There's the ID if you want to play this for yourself, and yeah, boom. Anyway, that's going to be just about it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. These buff videos, man, they take a while to record, especially when they take a while to verify as well, I will say. I want to do Club Step next, but that's also a demon, so it's going to be hard to not buff that to like something impossible, but I don't know. At some point, maybe after Club Step or something, I want to buff an easier one. It's hard though, because all of these like older levels are kind of boring, right? So it's hard, it'll be hard to buff those. I'm not sure. But anyway, what I am sure about is I'm going to end off today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Episode? Why do I call it episode? What is it an episode of? The buff series? Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. But anyway, I'm going to end this video off here. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you later.